Hello, sports fans. Welcome to DDM Sports Central, your one-stop hub for global, juicy sporting stories. On this occasion, we are not doing, like I said, it will not be all news all the time. The Champions League has heated up. The semi-final first leg games have been played. The Europa League as well has the first leg games decided. What we are waiting for is the second leg games, or are the second leg games of the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League, and the UEFA Europa League. So stay tuned. We'll be back with the discussion segment, and I'll tell you who I have as a guest in the studio with me to discuss all of this. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is still DDM Sports Central. Don't go anywhere. Don't move a muscle. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still DDM Sports Central. Like I said earlier, we'll be discussing the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League. So without further ado, I have with me in the studio the prophet, the unapologetic. I forgot put that Arsenal fan because before the moment I say that Arsenal fan, now I'm sure everybody will now know who my guest is. Okay, so I have with me in the studio the man who has the Manchester City jersey, but is in the heart and in the blood an Arsenal fan, a very unapologetic Arsenal fan, Ibrahim Umar Wase. You're welcome to the show, as always.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, Ibrahim, I'm not going to start with your club. Let's start with the other one, because I really want you to talk about your club, how it went down. Let's start with Barcelona versus Inter Milan. In all sincerity, as much as, we discussed it the other time and I was saying it was going to be a slim victory. But I like the fact that as much as it's ended 3-3, I like the fact that Barcelona kept pushing. It wasn't long after their Copa del Rey, which was what we also talked about, how it was going to affect their play, in the game. But the fact that they were matching Inter Milan pound for pound, it was something like a plus. On my side, I don't know of any other sports fan. On my side, it was a plus. How did you see that game? Yes, it ended 3-3, but how did you see the game?
Barcelona did well. What's the name of the club again? Inter Milan. Yeah. Inter Milan did well also from their side, considering the fact that they are playing away from home.
Yeah.
And away game aren't easy in Europe.
Yeah.
So they did well, but Barcelona dominated the game. They dominated every facet of the game: position, shots on target, accurate passes, corner kicks, and everything. So Barcelona were the better side.
Yes.
They were just not lucky enough.
And if you look at the 2 goals they considered in that game, they were down 2 goals at some point.
Sure.
Before they came back and equalized, and then Inter Milan went up again and they equalized towards the end.
Sure. Barcelona had 19 shots.
Yes.
And among these 19, 7 were shot on goal.
Yeah.
Inter Milan on the other hand have only
I think they just made
seven shots, and 3 shots on goal, and they have 3
goals.
That's mean they capitalized
on every chance that they had.
Chance they had.
Yeah.
So definitely, Barcelona will go to San Siro, and San Siro is not an easy place to play, most especially in the Champions League semi-finals. But I just believe it's written in the stars.
Yeah.
Barcelona will reach the Champions League final against Arsenal. That's my prediction, and I still remain.
You still stand by it?
Yeah, I still stand by that. Lamine Yamal,
that guy is something else. Did you see that? I think that was the first goal of Barcelona. Yeah. That guy played around with, and he would have scored a second goal. There was the one that hit the crossbar.
Sure.
Man, that guy is something else. And all of a sudden, the guy will never go far. I like the guy's humility though. The guy will never go far. So many people are now touting him to be the new Lionel Messi. I beg. Now let Lionel Messi day ball. Any small team. Anyway.
And that's how they used to rubbish some young talent.
Yes, allow the guy be. He's still fresh in the game. How old is he? He's 17. 17.
He's a Ballon d'Or contender already.
Yeah.
If you win the Ballon d'Or, he'll be the youngest.
If he win, I'll be happy. But I doubt.
Yeah, but definitely he's one of the contenders.
But yes, he's been good.
He won the Copa del Rey, and potentially they'll win La Liga, and most likely they'll be in the Champions League final. So definitely, if they win the treble, there's no any.
But do you think there's something that has been, a thought that has been coming through my head? Do you think Lamine Yamal's case? Let's say something happens to Lamine Yamal, he gets injured. Do you think it would be like a case of Chelsea when Cole Palmer got injured and Chelsea dropped? Do you think Barcelona will drop, or do you think there's somebody in the team that could hold it down for Barcelona just the way Lamine Yamal does? Do you think
it would be a quite different case with Barcelona because Barcelona have a lot of game changers in their squads. Lewandowski is a star player.
Yeah. Despite his age.
Rafinha is a game changer. In the midfield, everywhere they have game changers. So definitely it will be a different case. Chelsea have just one star player. So even considering, look at Arsenal now. Arsenal have a lot of players that are stars. So Odegaard was injured, Saka was injured, but they were still pushing and pushing. So that's just it. It will be a different case. Even if Lamine Yamal got injured, they have a lot of powerhouse to change the game at any time. So I'm not saying.
Go ahead.
I'm not seeing Lamine Yamal injury as a. It will be a disaster definitely because he's a star player without a doubt, but it will not cause to that decline in the same vein with Chelsea. It's not going to be like that.
Okay. So Prophet Ibrahim says, whatever happens to Lamine Yamal, Barcelona can still forge. But then looking at that game, what do you think went wrong? I personally would think that, I to a large extent, if you look at those the first two goals that Inter Milan scored, I think it was a miscalculation by the defense, because you cannot tell me. One, I think, was a set piece, and then somebody had to he head it into the net. So I was thinking there was just a problem with the defense. That's for me. But what do you think affected Barcelona to the point that they considered 3 goals just like that?
Yeah.
It's been a while they considered that number of goals. Yeah,
definitely, and most especially in the Champions League.
Yes,
that you need to be vigilant at all time. You can't concede this type of cheap goals in Champions League. For the
fact that you dominated all of the game and you just allowed those mistakes.
Definitely their defense, they should fix the problem in the defense.
And you think they can fix it
Hansi Flick
at San Siro?
Yeah, definitely. It's just an 11 players against 11 players. And the only difference is the fans are not behind.
Are not as much as
they are not in your support, they are in support of your rival. So that's just the difference. And I think Barcelona will go through. That's my belief.
They should just be grateful that it's gone are those days where they do all those away goal rules. Because trust me, if it was those days,
to be very, very hard.
Inter will just go home and lock up. They will play 0-0 and Barcelona would have been out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the second game, because we are also going to be looking at the Europa League. Yeah. Let's look at the second game where your team hosted Paris Saint-Germain. What happened? Because we're not just looking at the fact that Arsenal lost. It wasn't just the fact that Arsenal lost. My pain, if you remember on this program, I said something. I said there is something that Arsenal does that makes me feel bad. The points where you're saying, okay, Arsenal is gone. They spring up surprises. They do so well. But there's a point you now say, okay, yeah, these guys are going to deliver. And then all of a sudden, they flop. What do you think? Because PSG dominated that game in every aspect, except maybe for shots on goal. But shots on target, I think PSG still had more than Arsenal. Or was it shots on target?
No, Arsenal have more
shots on target than than PSG.
Yeah, than PSG.
So what went wrong, Ibrahim?
I told you in our previous program that Thomas Partey will be a big miss in that midfield.
Yeah.
Arteta is playing a double pivot in the midfield. The pivots are his fullback. One of his fullback will invert as a midfielder. And his number 6, which is Thomas Partey, which will allow the two midfielders to advance forward in Odegaard and Declan Rice. And the overload will be on your own defense and the midfield also. So it will be very, very hard for you to contain. The 3 defenders that Arsenal have are very, very okay with 1v1. The 3 defenders. So your 3 attackers will face 3 defenders. Because of how good they are, they don't have problem. So one defender will invert into the midfield to add more overload.
Like a backup,
an overload in the midfield. And they'll create that diamond shape in the midfield, whereby the 2 pivot are supporting the 2 advanced midfielders. So and because of how good Partey is good with the ball. Partey is a monster in terms of tackles, second balls, and so on and so forth. So he maintained the tempo and reduced the pressure on the advanced players. So Rice, since the beginning of the season, have not been playing as a number 6. So for you to come and play and give that same vibe as Partey, it will be very, very hard for him. Considering the fact that he has not been playing there, he has been playing as in a more advanced role prior to the game. And this is Champions League semi-final. And Enrique capitalized on that very, very well. The question was, who will Arsenal play as a replacement for Partey? If Jorginho was fit, I believe he would have been the perfect replacement. Although he will not deliver the same thing that Partey is delivering, but at least he will cover a lot of spaces. And he's very, very dangerous in advanced passes, all these surprise passes. And considering the fact that Arsenal wingers are very, very fast, it will put the defenders on check. But we don't have that. And we suffer for it. They dominated the midfield. And Arteta's tactic is based on midfield battle, and we lost the midfield battle since from the start of the game. Odegaard has been missing positions and so on and so forth. So that's the biggest game changer. Thomas Partey was not there, and I expect Arsenal to do better at at Paris.
Parc de Princes.
Parc de Princes. I expect them to do better there.
Okay, so Ibrahim, before I ask you about the second leg, how did you feel on that night? I know as a fan you would have felt really bad, but let me not speak for you. How did you feel that night?
Yeah, definitely. This is natural. We are always optimistic. As fans, I'm going there to win. Most especially, I have that confidence that Arsenal are not going to lose to PSG. At least not at home.
I'm sure a lot of people had confidence that Arsenal was going to win.
Yeah,
including me.
At least not at home, considering the record that Arsenal have in the Champions League at home. I think maybe
that's where they talk. Say before no be property.
Yeah, they haven't lost since they came back for this Champions League last season. They haven't lost a single game at home. They haven't lost a single game. So that's a good record for them. And Arsenal are not conceding a lot of goals. But scoring goals this season, as far as this season is concerned, they score more goals away from home than at home. Don't forget, in the round of 16, they beat PSV Eindhoven 7-1 away from home. This season, they slay a lot of big clubs away from home, not even at home. So they beat Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu. So they can still do it. I still believe they can do it.
Okay, so you're saying that Prophet Ibrahim believes that Arsenal could still do to PSG what PSG did to Liverpool in, I think, was that not the quarterfinal? No, round of 16 stage. So okay. Let's go into the Europa League. As much as we wish Arsenal all the best in the second leg, Arsenal will be playing on Wednesday, while Barcelona will be playing on Tuesday. So we look forward to see whether we're going to have a Barcelona-Arsenal final like Prophet Ibrahim has predicted, or we're going to have a PSG Inter Milan final, which is looking the more likely as it stands. We're only analysts. We are not God. They could get into the pitch and Barcelona will pull up the stunt, and then Arsenal will pull the magic as well. And then we'll see a Barcelona-Arsenal in the final. Now, in the Europa League, the two English sides that are in the semi-finals did very well. First was Manchester United. Manchester United surprised me. I don't know. I'm not putting I'm not relegating Athletic or overhyping Athletic Bilbao, or like they call them Athletic Club. But going to Spain to beat Athletic Bilbao 3-0. What do you think could have gone right for Manchester United? Does that, two questions in one now. What do you think went right for Manchester United? And does that emphasize that line that the English Premiership is the strongest, not necessarily the most marketable, the strongest league in the world? Two questions in one.
Let me start with the second question.
Yes.
English Premier League is clearly the most marketable.
Sure, no doubt about that.
The most competitive.
Okay.
And to some extent, the most strongest league in Europe and by extension in the whole world.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't believe English side, they are stamping their authority on Spanish side, for example. If you look at head-to-head record, you find out that Spanish club are doing extremely well against English side.
Yeah.
The only club that have record on Barcelona in the whole of England is Chelsea alone. I think they have equal, it is not even they are better. Yeah. They have equal win as Barcelona. They have equal win. No one is win the other.
Okay.
Then the only club that have record over Real Madrid in England is Arsenal alone. And a lot of Spanish clubs are trashing English clubs. Real Madrid trashes all English side, excluding Arsenal alone. Barcelona trashes all English side, excluding Chelsea alone. So, Spanish La Liga is the home of stars. We have seen over the years Ballon d'Or winners, Pukas Awards winners, European best players.
Coming from
Barcelona, Real Madrid, Spanish clubs. Yeah. So, but Manchester United have a very poor record against Spanish clubs. But yesterday, they did fantastically well.
Also so surprising.
And one of the most surprising things is the irony of football. In Premier League, Manchester United is 14th. And Tottenham Hotspur is 16th.
Honestly, that's why I said I'm surprised.
Fighting for their own life. So, number 14 and 16 in Premier League. They secure a place. One of them will secure a place in the next season Champions League.
Yes.
And already 5 clubs are going to represent England. That's the top 5. That means we'll have 6 English sides in the Champions League next season. This is great for England. And that speaks volume of the Premier League this season. Definitely they will have at least one European trophy at least. And most likely they would one of their club will reach final of all the three European competitions. Chelsea is in the semi-final, and they
also won their game, Conference League. May not like say we don't call Chelsea, we're not going to put in and do. Chelsea won their game yesterday away from home 4-1. Yeah.
Sure. They are the favorite to win the league, the Conference League. And we have Manchester United and Tottenham potentially reaching the finals because they both won their ties.
They both won it
convincingly. Then we have Arsenal in the semi-final of the Champions League. So most likely we'll have all the 3 finals, English club representing one of the English sides in the final. So it will be good for England, definitely. But I don't think it's speaks any like in the superiority of English football. No, Manchester United did well yesterday, and that's football. Sometimes even the manager said he never expected that to happen. So the manager himself was surprised.
Who are we not to be surprised? Captain Fantastic did very well. Bruno Fernandes, he scored the brace in that game. He scored the second and the third goal. One was by a penalty. So there you have it. We have analyzed the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League, and a little by extension, we talked about Chelsea. Chelsea, we used to start putting up for the picture because Prophet Ibrahim mentioned it now. So we're going to chop that one because we wanted to focus only on the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League. So there you have it. On Tuesday and on Wednesday, we'll be knowing who our finalists will be in this season's UEFA Champions League. Those who will be at Munich Stadium to play the finals of the UEFA Champions League. And by Thursday as well, we'll know who will be the finalists in the UEFA Europa League. We hope that you have enjoyed today's edition of DDM Sports Central. I want to say sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you, Ibrahim Wase, for standing out or being there for us on this show. Because sincerely, if to say, I'm not gonna lie for you, it will be a struggle for me as a host. I want to say a big thank you to you from the depth of my heart. This is not even because of the television. Thank you so much, Ibrahim Wase. I really appreciate your support. God bless you. Allah bless you.
Thank you.
So there you have it. That is the end of today's edition. I hope you enjoyed it. Do not forget to like, share, comment on this edition of DDM Sports Central. Do not forget to also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diaspora DM. On all social media handles, Diaspora Digital Media. Subscribe to our YouTube handle, Diaspora Digital Media. Until we come your way with another edition of DDM Sports Central, I remain your host with the Sparks. Ugochukwu, do have a lovely and sporty day ahead. Bye for now.